Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats from Popternative speaking to Nicholas Alexander and Barbara Hershey about the Manor part of Welcome to the Blumhouse coming to Amazon Prime. Thank you both for your time.
Hi.
Hi, thank you.
It's an exciting time, Barbara. I mean, Halloween's around the corner, October. It's a good time for some horror films. What excited you about working on this film and working on a horror film where the landscape's so big right now?
I like psychological horrors, which this was. To me, they're scarier than any blood ever could be. If you care about the characters, you care about what happens to them, and then it gets really, really, really deeply scary. So I like all that. I think it's satisfying.
Absolutely. And Nicholas, there's a lot of different ways that people like that we can get scared these days when we're watching horror films too. It's not just the jump scares or the gore. That's also really cool about the genre these days too, right, Nicholas?
Yeah. I think especially with this movie, it's really, you really have to feel the fear in the actor's performance, and I think this whole movie captures that from everyone. And that was really what translates into good horror is, feeling and as an actor being in the moment and really translating that to screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And Barbara, you're on deck to make this film. You worked on a lot of incredible, amazing films in the past, a lot of different films. What's the mindset before going and shooting this film specifically for you?
Well, there's different challenges at different films. This one, we were shooting it really fast, and it hung on my shoulders. And there's always the mindset where you wonder if am I going to be good? Can I do this justice? That never changes. I think that's the shadow side of excitement. It's like this: you stand on the edge of an icy pool, knowing you have to jump in, and once you're in, you're swimming, and everything's great. But there's always that anticipatory fear.
Absolutely. And Nicholas, when you get the script for this and you're looking through and everything, what did you notice about this story specifically before going and shooting it specifically?
When I first read the script, I was drawn in by the initial psychological horror aspect of it, and I love psychological horror, and that really drew me in. And then slowly it starts to turn into some different things. There's a little bit of comedy in it. There's other subgenres of other horror movies. There's little bits of body horror. There's all of these little elements that it's very unique that I think a lot of horror movies it does what a lot of other horror movies don't do, blending all these kind of genres, but at its core I think it's a psychological horror.
Yeah, there's a lot of genre bending happening right now in storytelling for sure, which I find is interesting. Are you noticing that too, Barbara, the genre bending happening in a lot of stories these days?
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
We need to break new ground.
But is that something that it excites you, I'm sure, to see kind of some of these different kind of scripts that aren't afraid to kind of experiment a little bit as well?
Yeah, or go deep, because this is character based, and I really think if you care about the characters, you care about what happens, and it gets really scary. And I think all of the other stuff, how it's presented, how it's shot, all that stuff is essential. But if you don't care about the characters, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I think going deep is really important to me anyway, on some level. You don't have to throw that at the audience, but you have to. I think the audience needs to feel it on some subliminal level that this is really happening.
And very quickly, Nicholas, before we wrap up, what are you hoping to get out of it when they get to watch this film, takeaway wise?
I really hope people take away the relationship that Judith and Josh have. It's really special, and it's it's so awesome. And a lot of movies aren't doing this kind of stuff with, with the relationship between, a grandmother and a grandson. And it's just a really, special relationship. I hope they take a lot from that.
Barbara, very quickly, takeaways, anything to add?
I'd like to bend the cliched image of growing older, and that, if you're young at heart and you're healthy and curious and alive, and then it's not a fearful thing. That they're just human beings. And, Hollywood seems to put old people in a box of sorts, and it's nice to, and also honest, because it's the truth, of taking us out and seeing the whole human being, which is,
Absolutely.
You have your whole life full of a lot of good information at this age.
For sure. Barbara, Nicholas, thank you so much for your time. And everyone's going to be able to see it. The Manor, part of Welcome to the Blumhouse on Amazon Prime. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.